back to the Meeple Marathon. Today we finally get to unbox Kingdom Rush Elemental Uprising the Elements chest. Alright, so this video we are just going to cover the new expansion. This hopefully has everything in it here, and then in our next video we'll show the King's chest that I got empty, and we'll take all the content from the first Kickstarter and we'll put it in there so you guys can see how that all fits. But here we have all the new stuff. So a set of cards randomly over here, tower cards. Don't know why those are like that. So I didn't get any of the small boxes, which is fine. I do save those. I have a plan for them someday. But everything appears to be just kind of tucked in here. So this is the Gnomish Nonsense scenario book and all his stuff. Alright, tucked in right there. And then we've got More Than Shadows. This is going to be the kind of expansion content similar to the Spider Goddess. This whole thing here is tied together. And then we've got our tower tray. This is what I like to see right here. This is what we did not get with the first Kickstarter, but we're told we were going to get. And I think that does make a difference. So an empty tower tray. I guess these are our towers. So we'll set that over there with them. We have a whole resource tray here. Okay. And then what I'm not seeing is, I can't tell, this might be the stuff for both expansions. Actually, now that I take a closer look at it, we're going to take a closer look at all this stuff. But everything, I'm just trying to get an understanding of how everything is organized in here. So reference card, reference cards. Here are the clear stuff. Those appear to be most of our heroes. Lots of plastic trays right there, lots of cards, lots of cards. Question is, are these full or empty? They already done all the work for us. These appear to be full, which is pretty cool. So again, game trays here. We're going to pop this off. Nice and solid. And okay, so just this was in there. So all my content, the rest of my content is going to be in there somewhere. And who do we get? The Phoenix. Okay, very nice. It is a little bit of a shame that as you fold them up, it looks like that they didn't figure out how to make that be what shows up. So it's either that or that. Okay, so let's take a look at this stuff first. Here we have the main crux of the cardboard, and on top we have the More Than Shadows expansion, and this appears to just be a scenario book, which is fine. Let's see how many scenarios they did give us here. So scenario 7, well, that's events, yeah. So 7 new scenarios. They look pretty extensive though. And then yeah, it's basically just an overview of the two Faustus and Phoenix that came as part of this expansion. So this is an expansion you'll be able to pick up in retail eventually, but was part of the Kickstarter. Here we have the rule book. One interesting thing they did this time was include the rule book and the scenario book together, which I don't know. I kind of preferred them being separate. I know that during setup, you know, you might have been flipping back and forth a lot, or had to have 2 books out, but it always meant that you could have the scenario sitting out during the game and then have the rule book to reference, but that's neither here nor there. But it's pretty thick, but the rules for the most part have not changed. The biggest difference is if you're playing multiplayer, you can pass your tower to anybody. It doesn't have to be to your immediate left or immediate right, but also then the coins. Coins are now an option on some of the hordes when you defeat them, and you use the coins to then upgrade your tiles. So let's see if we can find a picture of the upgrades here. Alright, here are the mods. So basically it's just these stickers right here. So you can have additional soldiers, add perfect range, make your stuff true damage, add 1x 1x1 damage tile, and a 2x1 artillery damage tile, and an additional building site. So this is interesting. You put this sticker on there, and it doesn't, normally you can place a soldier tower and another tower in the same location. You put this here and you essentially can have 2 non-soldier towers and a soldier tower all in the same spot. So we have updated solo rules and a crossover guide. So yeah, this is basically, this appears to just be the solo guide or a crossover guide. So how do you run Rift in Time heroes and Elemental Uprising, and then how do you run Elemental Uprising and Rift in Time? And a glossary. I haven't seen this, but this appears to just be, let's see, the champions, enemies, heroes, okay, towers, alright, not bad. See, I feel like they could have included this at the back of the rule book and kept the scenario book separate. Introductory scenario, look at that. Okay, foes on the horizon, basically a tutorial scenario. I see. Basically takes you through the first 2 rounds and gets you going. Then we have the map. This is mainly just for fun, but it shows you all the different scenarios. So the ones in purple and this purple over here are going to be from the 2 smaller expansions. This main track here is from, I'm guessing, Elements, and then this blue one is from the expansion that we just looked at. Anyways, this is a way for you to keep track of if you get 3 stars. It just gives you that look and feel of the app. Okay, so now we're starting to see, here's Faustus and Phoenix. This appears to be most of their stuff, which makes sense that they would keep it separate. And then we have some tiles. Now, in the short amount of time that this has already hit the atmosphere, you can see they're already starting to bend. So hopefully I can flatten these out. But so there's a big tile. I think there's only 2 or 3 big tiles in the main game. And yeah, that's about right. So here we have, this appears to just be scenery. These should be double-sided. Okay, yeah. It's obviously far different terrain on this side. But this is interesting, I guess, to split the middle. 1 big path there. And these are 3 separate pieces here, 4 separate pieces. Ooh, and we have some water on this side, which makes sense. The main boss in the core box is like a kraken. Some blue flags. Some more of the underworld look. Here we have our main heroes. This is just your color assignment, some sort of portal or wave. This is where your front gates are that you have to protect. Yeah, is this right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. Okay. The blossoms and then the various blossoms. Blossoms are just kind of, you run over them. They do various things in different scenarios. You don't want to cover them up with buildings until you've used them. Coins, crystals. We didn't get deluxe coins. At least I don't remember seeing deluxe coins. We got deluxe crystals as part of the first Kickstarter, and we got deluxe hearts. No deluxe coins, but that's okay. That's alright. Here's all the various damage tiles to place onto the various boards, and hopefully they will fit nicely in this. up next we have essentially our 2 small box expansions. Again, I did not receive the individual boxes because I backed the the overall Elements chest pledge that was basically just an all-in. So it was all included, but essentially it's two pieces here. So I don't know who gets the stickers, but here we can start to see finally some of our upgrade stickers. That's interesting. So normally this would go with this and this would go with this, and then you'd have your boss and your hero miniature down below, maybe some cards. Here we have 2 dragon towers. Interesting. So I don't know if one of these goes with one or the other, but yeah, let's take a look here. So if you get Gnomish Nonsense, you are going to get the Gnome mod stickers. Izzy miniature and Raz and Rags miniature. So this is the hero, this is the boss. And I don't see any of that other stuff. Okay. So yeah, here's his special abilities. He's got some bunny tokens, it appears. Angry Gnome. There, I can, if you want to pause there and read through all those, that's fine. And then let's see what Dark Elf Slayer gets you. So Dark Elf Slayer does come with the Bearsed and the Ashbite cards. So it comes with 3 miniatures. So Regson, Bajimin, and Ashbite. I wonder if Ashbite is like a little familiar for Regson. So there is his stuff. We can flip this over if you want to pause that and take a look at those. But let's quickly take a look at these modification stickers. So these are not stickers per se, that they use adhesive. Supposedly it's micro suction technology, and they can be stuck and restuck 1,000 times. This appears to be all my mod stickers. That's weird. Packaged some stuff some weird ways, but like that would, these would come with this, and you're gonna get 2 sets of everything. Now I don't have a microscope in my hand, but this looks, I mean, it's very thick. I don't know if the sticker is that thick. Yeah, the sticker is pretty thick, and it's not just like adhering to my hand. So we'll have to see. I'm a little skeptical about these. So there's some, I believe this goes with the expansion content. And you have 2 sets of everything. But supposedly you don't try and get them back on here. That's what this little book is for. So this little book, it's got some nice, gloss to it. And you should be able to stick them in here, and they say you only need 1 set, and you just keep pulling them out of here. But we'll see. We shall see. Worst case, they sell replacement packs of these. I mean, that's what, like a $5 expansion down the road. Super simple packaging. Anyways. Alright, we have a whole bunch of reference cards here. So let's take a look at those. Example here is Faustus. Liquid Fire. This ability simply deals a lot of damage to the horde beneath Faustus and adjacent heroes. Okay, well, I'm not going to read all these, but Faustus, Phoenix, Raz and Rags, Reg's son, Ulrich. He's the one that comes with the special soldiers, the sand tornado guys. Lord Winter Song. She can freeze people. I don't really know what Deirdre's stuff is. Saitum has the best, the best ability for anybody that's a Disney's Lion King fan here. Asante-san, a squash banana, Asante-san, a squash banana. This ability doesn't deal any damage by itself, but grants Saitam additional 5 move points. What is more, Mighty Monkey passive still works, and it's enhanced. So basically, if he moves, he does damage as he bounces on his little pogo stick. And Bruxa can bring things back to life. She's kind of like a necromancer in a way. And then we've got our scenario / boss reference cards here. So you can play against or with Faustus the Magic Dragon, Cumulonimbus, Story Time with Gulthark. That's funny. Better Not Get Kraken, so you can fight against the Phoenix. The Sky is Falling, and the Shadows Descend. And then what do we got over here? These are some more expansion scenarios. I do like how they have these, so I guess this would be all you would need once you do setup. So here comes the General. Scream of the Banshee. 1 Dark Elf army, so you can play against Regson and putting your behind in the past. So this is another Lion King reference. That's amazing. You gotta put your behind in the past. No, you amateur. Sit down before you hurt yourself. It's you gotta put your past behind. No, you gotta put your past behind you. See, I can't even say it now. Waiting for hammers to fall. Save the sheep, save the world. So you, yeah, basically you can play against all these heroes. All these heroes can go one way or the other. Then came the sheep. So that's cool. I do like these cards. Makes me excited to play those scenarios. Alright. Let's pull out some more stuff here. So we have even more reference cards for all the base game scenarios. What else we got here? Don't worry, we'll get to the miniatures. These, you guys have seen these, right? And these are just plastic trays. They are green instead of brown. I do like that color a little better. And then a whole bunch of cards. Cards. So, this, let's see what Water, Earth, Air, and Fire gives us. Defeat the elements. I wonder if this is like the final battle. All elements break loose. Yeah, look at this. You can basically play against all the enemies. Storm Chaser. So let's just look at this one. Victory condition: survive until Saitam's quest is done. I mean, I guess maybe these are not necessarily fighting against those guys. This, yeah, I think that's the main boss. Sashimi, anyone? Is this Halloween? Is this Halloween? Halloween. Everything changed when the lava appeared. Blooming Threats. Okay. Anubis reference card. Shadow Champion reference card. So I think these are the actual bosses. Jack-o'-lantern, Hobgoblin War Chief. Okay. The Earth Blossom. The Storm Blossom. The Frost Blossom. It's the year of the blossom. The Fire Blossom. The Magic Blossom. And 4 helper cards. Alright. Lots and lots of reference cards. Alright. So, I'm not going. This is that Fire, Earth, and Water. Yeah, so these must be like the. Yeah, so there you go. Yep, these are what you flip over, an event, and there is, you know, the 4th time you got to defeat him, you got to hit them all. Look, that's cool. It's like each time only one thing, part of them is there. Then it's basically just Rockhead. Here now it's Rockhead, Whitehead, and Firehead, and then it's all 4. I feel like that was a missed opportunity there to do just 1, then 2 of them, then 3, and then 4. But oh well. So we should have, yeah, and there's the Kraken guy, and Anubis, there's Jack-o'-lantern, so they each have their own sets of cards. Hobgoblin Chief, and now we start getting into regular horde cards. Some give you coins, some give you gems, some are going to give you, like that, the option. We're not going to dive into those too much because that would just be spoiling things. So this is, there for example, is Regson. If you want to play as someone else solo and make Regson a bench hero, you just flip over that card right there. And that is that. Then there's a lot of other different horde cards here. So this must be, okay, so these are the cards that you would get with Regson. You would get his card along with some special horde cards, along with these what appear to be scenario specific cards, boss specific cards, more scenario cards. So that's why these are in paper. And here again, this should be no much nonsense. Yeah, there we go. Sheep, that's hilarious. Mushrooms, those boss cards. Okay. So hopefully this gives you a general idea of what you would get if you just get the small box expansions on retail. So a lot more. Each one of these should be the, like this would be Alric as a bench player. This would be, who would this be? Deidre. Let's find out who this one is. Oh no. Okay, so this set of cards comes in just the Dark Shadows expansion. So there's the Phoenix and Faustus. Their cards, along with what I'm guessing are some boss cards for them, even maybe. So this is the set of cards you would get in the other expansion, and then these probably come in the core game. So I believe we are just down to miniatures and what's in this little baggie right here. Oh, here is our new sets of soldiers. These guys are slightly different than the first set. So these are deluxeified as part of the Elements pledge. But here you've got this little guy, and then you've got these guys, which go specifically with Ulrich, the hero. So it's interesting. I thought there would have been like Meeple versions of those guys too, but I don't see those anywhere. Oh, there's some stuff in there even. There's some stuff under there. Okay. So we got a little bit more stuff to look at here. Let's take a look at all of our hero trays now. This is going to take some time. Here is the Phoenix. At the start of the Phoenix's activation, when she has no health points, you do that. So it's a Phoenix. Then Phoenix restores all health points and recovers all abilities, and her activation ends. So essentially she comes back to life, does this instead of a basic attack. So that's cool. Gnome and Sock Puppet Guy. Raz and Rags. Okay. They definitely, this is thinner right here, so hopefully these are going to lay a little flatter than the original game. So at the beginning of Raz and Rags' activation, place each bunny so that each is on a different horde within 2 spaces of Rag and Rags, or remove all bunnies from the board and put the 2 stones on each horde that had a bunny removed from it. Okay. Yep, there's Regson. I will have my vengeance. If Regson ends his move on a horde that has no damage tiles on, he may perform an additional action. Faustus cannot engage hordes. He can move through and occupy any space. Dragonlings, during setup, place 2 Dragonling damage tiles in your supply. At the start of Faustus' activation, he may move a horde adjacent to or in his space to an empty space. You can pick up a whole horde. and swap its position with another horde or swap its. That's awesome. Wow. Ulrich, at the end of his first move of the game and after Ulrich rests, move 2 Sand Warriors from Ulrich's board to his space. Sand Warriors may be moved the turn they are placed. Sand Warriors have protection and 2 points of movement. When a hero would take damage, Ulrich may instead return a Sand Warrior from that hero's space to Ulrich's board. I think it's either at all, or it may just be if the horde is destroyed. At the beginning of Brux's activation, for each skull token she has, put a skull on a horde that is adjacent to her. Bruxa can have up to 3 on her board. 3 skull tokens. Daedra, Wings of Light. Before activating Daedra, you may move her to any space. Wow. Whenever a soldier is removed from a horde, put a whatever that in its place. Holy Light. She only has 1 movement, but she can move to any space. I don't even know why she needs her movement. Basically, what appears to be his staff on each horde he leaves. So again, he's bouncing around on his pogo stick. Sun Thrones reference there. Allura Wintersong. At the beginning of Allura's activation, put 2 ice crystals on each horde that has any damage tiles of Allura on it. So basically, the ice just spreads for her. Alright. That was all of our heroes. All we have left is the